Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for allowing me to contribute to the motion to thank His Excellency, the Governor-General, for delivering the speech from the throne. However, before delivering my reply, I also extend my congratulations to our new Deputy Speaker and the MP for East Honiara constituency. Speaker, sir, as one of the young ministers in the current Government for National Unity and Transformation, and a first-time member of Parliament representing my people of East Makira constituency, entrusted with huge responsibility to serving our nation as the Minister for Agriculture and Livestock, I wish to share progressive updates that my ministry has made since I became the Minister. More so, given our very recent political situation last week, it is only proper that I rise to thank His Excellency, the Governor-General, for delivering the speech from the throne to provide the progressive updates. I sincerely thank the Honourable Prime Minister and fellow Cabinet Ministers, including the Members of Parliament within GNUT government, for allowing me to serve in my current role as the Minister. I believe I have done my best as the Minister since GNUT government came into power a year ago. Speaker, sir, issues facing the agricultural sector are long-time issues, and I was only given less than a year to deliver whatever progress we have made. Regardless of the ensuing political and that mile lay ahead of us, I wish to thank our people of Solomon Islands for continuously upholding us in your prayers as national leaders, and that we will continue to serve you in our roles as members of Parliament. Sir, agriculture in this country has long been surrounded with many fundamental structural and functional issues. And to address these issues will take a good number of years before we can realize the positive impacts of the interventions that we are now slowly but steadily implementing under our development budget and with our donor partners. On this note, I sincerely thank our hardworking rural farmers, commodity traders, exporters, value-adding entrepreneurs and service providers whom have continued to faithfully serve this country and contribute to our economy. The Government for National Unity and Transformation, GNUT for short, has 8 policy priorities that it has laid out since it came into power last year. Under these 8 policies, the Ministry has made some progress, such as, and I wish to mention them: 1, the establishment of the Cocoa and Coconut Revolving Fund. Speaker, sir, last year the Ministry received about 4.9 million under its development budget to assist our buyers, traders and exporters. The Ministry recognizes that one of the many challenges facing our rural farmers is limited access to markets and finance. It is therefore prioritized the allocation of seed funding through soft loans to active buyers and exporters of both cocoa and copra. This approach was based on the fact that we still have sufficient standing trees for both cocoa and coconut. The most recent agriculture survey conducted in 2017 showed that we currently have 10 million cocoa standing trees and 9.9 million coconut standing trees. The revolving fund received 633 applications in total, and so far we have allocated funding support to the first batch of 57 recipients. Total allocated to the 57 recipients was 2.26 million, which according to our calculations will result in an accumulative revenue of 15 million SBD over the next 6 months, given that these recipients have to continue engaged in the trading business since they have to repay the funds as a soft loan. We are also aware that there are those that think we should first focus on production before thinking about the market. However, there is no harm focusing on market while improving our local production. This is because we do not want to repeat the same mistake of the past, where we focus too much on production and neglect the financial aspects of it. As a result, when production increases, but there was lack of sufficient market. Farmers were discouraged and shifted away from farming and engaged in other things. Thus, we first want to address the whole value chain by creating and strengthening our markets so that farmers are certain that their products will be sold before they go into large-scale farming. Speaker, sir, payments were made to the first 57 recipients last week, and we hope to disperse the second batch at the end of this month. This year, we have another 8.6 million for revolving fund and shipping subsidy. Ministry will soon call a new expression of interest on this. Therefore, those of you farmers or traders who have missed out in the current one should prepare well. Number two, provision of regular and reliable shipping service. Speaker, sir, the Ministry, in collaboration with one of our indigenous ship operators, has trialed a ship to ship to the cocoa and copra high-producing areas of Makiaulau province. It was very effective and economical with the shipment of local products to Honiara. The Ministry is planning to make similar arrangements for Malaita Outer Islands, Shortland and Mono, Choiseul, parts of Western Province, parts of Godol Canal, Isabel, in the coming months, given that the fruiting season for cocoa is now picking up and expected to peak from May until August this year. The Ministry is expected to provide regular shipping to some of our high purchasing areas starting this month. Three, with the cassava export. Speaker, sir, due to the recent downpour and insistence of the Sape Farm management for loans of the cassava processing facility before export is done, the first 2 containers of freshly frozen cassava will now take place in June this year. The Ministry has invested around 2.7 million in the modern state-of-art cassava processing facility with a bigger contribution from the Sape Farm and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Apart from processing of the fresh cassava tubers, the Ministry can also produce cassava flours and livestock feed for piggery and poultry. The Ministry is happy to say that the investment is a worthy one and will save this country for a very long time, given that there is already demand from the buyer in the increase the number of containers from 2 to at least 4 containers every month in Melbourne, Australia. 4, with the treatment facility for pineapple export. Speaker, sir, Ministry recently retrieved its fumigation chamber from the Solomon Island ports and closely collaborating with SPC and EU office in Suva, Fiji for construction of the holding facility for the fumigation chamber. We expect the construction work to commence in the 3rd quarter of this year with the funding from EU and SPC. Once completed, it will enable us to export fresh pineapples abroad with strong interest from Australia. Recently, a team from South Korea visited Malaita in March this year, along with our officers, to explore the potential of the pineapple production in Malaita. 5th is the vapor heat treatment plant. Speaker, sir, the Ministry has engaged a local contractor to construct its pre-trial treatment facility, and I'm happy to say that the construction is ongoing for the test facility by our local constructors. This facility purposely to breed different economical species for fruit flies that cause damage to our local fruits. Our targeted fruits for export, such as papaya, mango, and melon, will then be subjected to fruit flies attacks before being treated at various heat levels within the facility to determine the best heat treatment level without damaging the flesh of the fruits. Speaker, sir, to avoid confusion to the general public, let me state here that there are 2 different facilities at our Henderson Biosecurity site. One is the vapor heat treatment plant, while the other is the fruit fly breeding and heat trial facility. So there are two. For the VHT facility, it has been completed 1 year ago, and we were supposed to receive engineers from Japan to install the VHT plant. However, the engineers have recommended some changes to the power socket. Therefore, Ministry is about to engage a local A-grade electrician to install a new three-phase electrical socket to the facility to allow for the plant to be connected to the power and have it operated. Once the needed adjustment is completed, the Japanese engineers should be in the country to fix it. Sixth, with the taro export. Speaker said the Ministry is also going to assist Goshen Enterprise from Malaita, one of our taro packaging entrepreneurs, working closely with the province to set up the facility for both domestic and international markets. The Ministry is also finalizing the funding agreement for support. Seventh, with the staff training. Speaker said, I'm very pleased to further report that the Ministry is taking concrete steps to address the long-standing capacity gaps that have hindered the progress within the Ministry. Currently, 32 of our staff are undertaking full studies to enhance their qualifications in agriculture. These individuals are pursuing diploma and bachelor's degree at the Solomon Island National University, the University of the South Pacific. This investment in human capital is a critical step in strengthening the Ministry's technical expertise and the long-term service delivery. Furthermore, I am proud to highlight that one of our staff members has recently graduated from the prestigious University of Tokyo with a Master of Science in Agricultural Resource Economics, a commendable achievement that brings a new knowledge and international exposure to our Ministry. In addition, another staff member is nearing completion of a PhD in soil science at Marseille University in New Zealand. These academic accomplishments are not just personal milestones for individuals involved, they represent significant gains for the Ministry and the broader agricultural sector in the Solomon Islands. They equip us with the technical depth and research capacity needed to better tackle the complex challenges we face in modern agriculture. We might be the only Ministry upgrading the staff at a very big scale, and that shows how serious we are in addressing the long overdue issues affecting the sector. 8, with the development activities, Speaker said the Ministry has 6 development programs for this financial year and focuses on strengthening our long-term food security to achieve food sovereignty. These activities are 1, food security and livestock industry, with the following 5 activities. 1 is the cattle breeding facility development at Gozororo in Isabel, which is worth 2.7 million. 2, the nuclear and multiplier pig breeding farms in Central Island, Choiseol, Temotu, Guadalcanal, Western Malaita provinces, which is worth 1.7 million. Poultry farm assistance to Isabel, Western, Honiara, Malaita, Makira, Guadalcanal, with $500,000. 4, the support the apiary breeding and queen bee rearing for Honiara and Guadalcanal, which is worth $400,000. The livestock feed production and animal disease surveillance worth $700,000 SBD. 2, the coconut and cocoa development program. Mr. Speaker, sir, this program will see further support to the revolving fund with an additional injection of 8.6 million. Thus, I encourage those who applied but did not make it to ensure they make efforts to satisfy the 2 minimum criteria of having a valid professional business license and most recent sale receipts. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the same matter, I assure the public that my Ministry will also put out another call for expression of interest to our stakeholders to submit their interest to be part of the revolving fund. 3rd, the pest and disease control. Speaker, sir, we continue to conduct intervention activities in selected sites against the coconut rhinoceros beetle, CRB, with the support from New Zealand government. The Ministry is also monitoring and conducting active surveillance programs on other pests and diseases. Fourth, we have the commercial agriculture development. Mr. Speaker, sir, under this particular development program, we are preparing to initiate major development at Gozororo in Isabel for 250 hectares of land for cattle breeding, 100 hectares for rice trials, cocoa and coconut seed gardens, and new emerging crops. Sir, the same program also accommodates for funding support to our vegetables and root crop farmers. Fifth, the infrastructure and innovations. Because these programs are to build our staff residence in Kirkira and Noro, revival of Hakama in the Central Island Province, redevelopment of Newi Field Experiment Station in Temotu, development of Makira Ulo Provincial land at Okia, pig multiplier farms in Malaita, Western and Isabel, development of the Tenaru Field Experiment Station, and others. Speaker, sir, for donor-funded projects, I am happy to announce that the World Bank funded Solomon Islands Agriculture and Rural Transformation project is making good progress with support to our agribusiness producer organizations in 3 provinces of Malaita, Makira, and Guadalcanal. We expect to have supported 66 agribusiness producer organizations by the 3rd quarter of this year. Mr. Speaker, sir, another of our donor-funded project worth 19 million USD is from the International Funds for Agriculture Development, IFAD for short, will operationalize in July this year. This is a 6-year project to be implemented in the 3 provinces of Western, Isabel, and Choiseul. This project was designed in January this year and focuses on agriculture investment for market and nutrition. Additionally, Speaker, sir, we also have FAO-funded sustainable transformation of domestic agri-food systems, STODAS, being implemented across our provinces by helping the ministry to collect field data for formulation of major projects. We are also thankful to the Japanese government through the UNICEF for the schools meals project that is now being implemented in Isabel and Western provinces. For better or for worse, I give my assurance that GNUT government will ensure agriculture shall rise to new heights, and it has started. Mr. Speaker, sir, with this, I once again thank His Excellency, the Governor-General, for the speech from the throne, and the Honourable Prime Minister for this opportunity to respond accordingly. I support the motion and I resume my seat.